Our bodies are freaking weird, man. They do a lot of stuff that we have no control over or just don't think about on a daily basis. Like breathing, an essential part of living that we do automatically, most of the time, unless some dumb YouTuber brings it up in their video, in which case you start thinking about breathing and now you're stuck on manual mode for the next 20 minutes. You're welcome, by the way. So I got curious about the real purpose of some of these bodily functions and how they actually work. Hiccups. This mildly annoying occurrence has always fascinated me, and I vividly remember asking any and all adults around me why we had them when I was a little kid. But those adults were busy being adults, so I never really got a clear answer until today, because I have the power of unemployment and unrestricted access to the World Wide Web. Hiccups are repeated spasms or sudden movements of the diaphragm that you cannot control. And for the people like me in the audience who don't know what a diaphragm is, it's the muscle that separates your chest area from your stomach area, and it plays a huge role in breathing. Eating a large meal, eating too quickly, drinking alcohol or carbonated drinks, or getting excited suddenly can cause the diaphragm to spasm repeatedly. This makes your vocal cords snap shut, producing the iconic and inconvenient hic sound. And that's where hiccups come from. So now that we all know what hiccups are, let's review and rank some remedies that grandmas around the world swear actually work. First up, getting scared. This is the one I've always heard about and actually have some experience with trying to scare my friends to help them get rid of their hiccups. I don't think it actually works, but it does distract you from the hiccups. 6 out of 10. Next up, drinking a glass of water upside down.
Huh?
Even if this one works, it's a logistical nightmare. You need a water, maybe one of those silly bendy straws, and a wall to brace yourself against, all within arm's reach the moment you get hiccups. And by the time you get this Rube Goldberg machine functioning, you look like an absolute lunatic. But just for a second, let's imagine an alternate universe where this is completely normal. Hiccups. 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 7 out of 11. Please start doing this without any explanation whatsoever. Just grab one of those bendy straws. You know what to do. Next up, we've got eating a large spoonful of peanut butter or placing a sugar cube under your tongue. This just sounds to me like someone who wanted a sweet little treat and used their hiccups as an excuse. 4 out of 10. I really want a sweet treat now. And now for the actual scientific method of getting rid of hiccups. Waiting it out. Yeah, that's it. It's really anticlimactic, but also the only thing that actually seems to work. It's also the one thing all of these home remedies have in common. No matter what you're doing, you're also waiting it out. Which means that technically, playing a game of Clash Royale is a valid way of getting rid of hiccups. And real quickly, before we move on to the next weird body thing, if you're enjoying this video so far, consider liking and subscribing. My mom's basement is real nice and everything, but I've got dreams of moving out soon, and you'd be helping me out a ton. Ooh, yawning is something we associate with being real EP. But the people at Big Science haven't actually agreed on why we yawn. What they do agree on is that almost all vertebrate animals yawn. This includes mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and even fish. It's also contagious, so if Jimbo over there starts yawning, you're probably gonna start yawning too. And it doesn't even have to be in person. Someone yawning over the phone can trigger you to yawn as well. And I bet at least a few of you just yawn because I'm talking about yawning so much. And it doesn't stop with humans. Domestic dogs have been shown to yawn contagiously in response to humans yawning. One study suggests that yawning helps get rid of excess CO2 in your blood. Since a yawn is basically just a longer exhale, it could dump more CO2 than a normal one. Another science nerd thinks that yawning exists to periodically stretch the muscles in your throat, which helps with vocalizing, swallowing, chewing, and keeping the airway nice and open. Another theory says that yawning, especially contagious yawning, evolved as a group alert system. If one animal gets drowsy or bored, they're less prepared to react. So yawning would act as a signal to the rest of the group, basically saying, Jim Bob over here is getting real EP, so the rest of us better stay twice as ready. Has your arm or leg ever done this? That's called paresthesia. Paresthesia. That's called paresthesia. It's a sensation where your skin feels numb and like you got turned into a TV from the 80s. Whilst there are a plethora of causes, here are some of the most common ones. Not moving your limb for a long period of time, hitting your funny bone, which is actually the unlearned nerve, or having awkward posture. such as sitting crisscross applesauce for a while, which puts pressure on a nerve or limits blood flow, like you're folding a kink into a hose. But most of the time the paresthesia will pass on its own as you start to move your limbs again. Blushing. Blushing is something we do when we get embarrassed, shy, or flustered. The reason your face turns red is because the tiny capillary veins in your face experience an influx in blood flow, which is linked to your fight or flight response. But blushing isn't about preparing for danger. Instead, big science thinks it evolved as a social signal. It's a way of saying you're embarrassed to those around you without using words. Just like shivering is a way of saying that you're cold without actually saying anything. Blushing makes a really effective signal because you can't fake blushing. You're actually embarrassed. Tummy rumbles. Your tummy rumbling means you're hungry, but your tummy is actually rumbling all the time. The sound you hear are muscles in your digestive tract contracting to move food, liquid, or gas through your stomach and intestines, which are louder when your stomach is empty and the sound echoes in the void. That's why we associate the audible rumble with hunger. And finally, your bed turning into another portal and making you fall straight into the shadow realm, or sometimes called a hypnic jerk, is that sensation right before you actually fall asleep where it feels like you're falling. And Big Science disappointed me on this one, as they haven't figured out why this happens yet. The best guess they've got right now is that your brain confuses muscle relaxation for falling and sends a signal to catch you. Thanks, brain. Very cool. So yeah, your body's weird, your brain is guessing most of the time, and Big Science is doing its best. Thanks for watching.